Okay, well, everything is cooked. Now I have some hot jars, and I haven't got my ladle. So, I'm now, what I cooked and put in the oven is now going into hot jars. And they'll go on the stove in hot water. I have a pot of hot water. So, there's my jar. All nice and warm. Warm jars. Lids. And then that just goes into the pot that I've got here with water. And then I just continue. Those jars are 500 ml, so a pint jar. Take it to about an inch from the top. You clean jars with just straight out of the thing, so there's no. If you're doing something messy, you can make sure that you in finger tight. Something messy, you wipe the lids, but they've just come straight out of the hot water, and this has gone straight into the top of the jar, so I'm not touching the top. And I'm making sure that some of the juice goes in there with the meat. Gave it a bit of a sample before. Oh, so delicious. Move the lid out of the hot water. Put in. And that's it. So, I've got 8 jars here. Not sure if I'll get them all. Oh, that one could have a smidge too much. Maybe not. Maybe. Where's my little spoon? No, it's not too bad. So, now I lid out of the hot water jar into the pot with hot water, which is just off camera there. And if you need to, just tip your water jars back into the hot water if they've cooled down a fraction. The water's hot. It's not scalding hot. And so I've done 4. I may get the 8 done. So this is the mince. I had some tomatoes that I hadn't done anything with and just froze them when they were cheap, and just threw them in a pot, still frozen, so they cooked down for a couple of hours. I then put some bay leaf, some garlic, some rosemary and thyme. And then what did I do? So then I let that simmer for a bit longer. I then put some tomato paste in, and then I put that beef broth that I had in separate, that I had cooked from the last time, like thing, so you know that video will upload. And then what did I do after that? So I've only got 2 more to go, and I think I've made enough out of those 2 kilos. And there could be a bay leaf in there. 2 kilos of mince. 8 pints. It's a little bit full. Let's see if I get enough of them. I'm going to have to check some of those jars, and if they're a little bit lower, I may have to top them up. I certainly don't have enough for 9 pints, but I think this has done pretty well. So yeah, so the beef broth, and let that cook up, and then some of the broth from the stew that I made from the Ouzo Berko, I ended up, so this one's a little bit too full, too much in there. From the Ouzo Berko, I ended up using some of the broth from that, and with that broth I added another small can of the tomato paste. It's a good double thick tomato paste, this one. It's a really good one I get. And then I mix some of the broth. I think I've got about 4 ladles. So my ladle, 4 of those, and that small can of tomato paste. What are they? 140 grams. This tomato paste, and yeah, so that ended up, you know, doing what I needed. Right, well, I've got enough left in here, not much. I'll show you in a sec. For a meal. So I might have to take some of that water out. Got a bit too much in there. Actually, I need to take them out because I forgot to put my cloth in the bottom. I don't have a strainer in the bottom of these pots. So what I need to do is get a tea towel, dishcloth, tea towel, whatever, and then make sure so maybe that one can use a little bit more, but just a towel. It goes into the bottom of this big pot. It's here. It's already got some hot water in it, so I just put that into the bottom, because it's, you know, just an ordinary pot. So that way, you know, some of the canning pots will have a steel rack. It's normally got holes in it. But this is fine. And any pot, any saucepan will work for canning, for water bathing, which people have been doing for centuries without any FDA approval or any of that sort of nonsense. So I've got 7 that fits in here. I probably could have got one of the different pots that is a little bit wider than this, but this will do. That'll go on the thing. This can sit in the fridge. It'll last in the fridge for a few weeks, just like that. If you leave it out, it will, otherwise I can stick it in a pot later. Or put it in this, won't fit in that one. But that's it. Put the lid on, put it back on the stove, and then so you do cook it for about 3 hours, right? You know, anything for meat, even if you cooked it before, you water bath for 3 hours. So there's not a lot left in here. Just this main bit just up here. Juices down the bottom, but I'll may have some pasta later, and as I said, these meals you can put some chili in them, add some beans, refried beans, or, you know, red kidney beans, you know, so change the meal from what this is, because that's only a base, like a bolognese base. So you can change it to any flavour or any dish that you want it to be. Alright, so I'm going to put that back on my wood stove. That'll sit there for the next few hours. And this I'll just put in I'll go and get another jar, put that in. And I'll either have that tonight or I'll have it tomorrow. But I tell you, it's delicious. And the smells that were coming out of this kitchen, because I went and, you know, watched a show, like a DVD. I don't have television, but I have a television set that's got a DVD player in it, so I, you know, watch a show. So this is actually delicious. That is so good. And you can get that from any good Italian restaurant, right? Because of all the flavours that are in that, you know. You got your rosemary, thyme, your coriander, garlic, onion. I've got capsicum in there. These little Italian herbs. These are a good brand, these ones, because I'm very careful in the brands that I get. This one's got the oregano, marjoram, parsley and capsicum. Basil, yeah. So these are really good. It's hard to get these ones. I only spotted them a little while back, and I didn't know what they were like, so I only brought 2. I brought this one in a garlic one, which is really good if you're doing prosciutto. You know, sprinkle that on the top, or on the top of tomato or avocado. Really good. And I haven't been able to find them since. So I'll have to do a little bit of a search and find out who stocks them and go and get some more of their flavours, because they're really good. They don't seem to have all the additives and extra bit that some of the others do. Excuse me, I'm just banging the lid, the strainer. So I'll put them on. So you have a good day. I enjoyed my lunch because I used some of that Ouzo Berko that I slow cooked overnight. Just shredded some of that, put it on a nice little fresh roll, bread roll, a bit of lettuce, some homemade mayonnaise, and some of that meat. So delicious. So I'm going to make myself another cup of tea. So that's how easy to do canning. Just make something up, put it in a jar, sterilised, and then put it in a pot, put it on the stove, let it boil. Bring it to a rapid boil, then let it simmer boil for 3 hours if it's meat. You know, if you've got plums or peaches or whatever, you know, put them in a sugar syrup, put them in, and I think there's about 20 minutes for them. And then you've got canned, you know, fruit, vegetables. You can do it all. Don't worry about, you know, going into a supermarket and the prices are so high. They had cherry tomatoes, the little cherry tomatoes, $10.99. Right? $10.99. Like, who's going to pay that? And the so-called Trust tomatoes, $13.99 a kilo for £2 of tomatoes. Right? Ridiculous, $7. All right, well, that's me out. All right, behave. Much love. Pack out.